Hello, it's FiberSmith again, and today I'm going to be talking about our detachable HDMI cable series, as I told you on the last video. Okay, so some of you guys are probably wondering why we have to use detachable HDMI cable series. Detachable HDMI cable series is usually used by cable installers. Among the very frequently used DVI, DisplayPort, or HDMI subconnectors, our HDMI cable subconnector is the smallest one in size. But the size of HDMI can be cut about in half or is 4 times more smaller than the largest DVI subconnector. So when you are installing your cable in a building, you are supposed to pass your cable through this kind of very small conduit like this. So then you are supposed to plug your cable and subconnector like this. And in this kind of case, you can just cut the radius of your conduit by using our detachable HDMI cable series. And it also creates a very much smaller hole on the wall when it comes out. So it's so simple, just pass your cable through conduit and just plug your subconnector. Okay, so we are using a lot of different kinds of interfaces in actual cabling conditions because it's taking place everywhere, like your home or even at the office. Today, a lot of devices like your PC or TV or even monitor screen require multiple interface connectivity, which means in this kind of case, you sometimes have to connect a lot of different kinds of cables for a single device. And so when you have to switch ports, you can just simply change your adapter for a whole single communication. But some devices require whole replacement of your cables. So please contact your manufacturer or even reseller before you actually use your cable. FiberSmith has detachable HDMI 2.1 cable which supports 4K 60 Hz. Its design is based on HDMI micro D-plug. Our cables are made of plastic optical fiber, POF, so its bending radius is very flexible, which is great at the moment of cable installation. Detachable HDMI has its own combinations of HDMI, DisplayPort, and DVI on the source part, and DVI and HDMI on the display part, so you can just switch any way if you want. Okay, so I'm just gonna start to test the combination of our detachable HDMI cable, and I'm gonna just start with the most basic and default combination of micro HDMI D-plug to micro HDMI D-plug type. But before I actually start, I feel like just gonna have to introduce our devices. So this is our source device, and I'm just gonna connect this cable to this device and this display device. Okay, so let's start. I just have here the adapter, micro HDMI D-plug adapter, and this part just goes to the source device. And this direction naturally goes to the display device. Okay, so the screen has been turned on, and I think I have to change the resolution to 4K because I think I have to prove that our micro HDMI D-plug combination can support 4K. Okay, so let's change the resolution. Okay, so this is the 4K resolution, and I've just successfully changed it, and I'm just gonna play the 4K video. Okay, so this is the 4K video, and you can see there's no problem with our micro HDMI D plug combination transporting 4K data signal. Okay. And this time I'm just gonna test the combination of HDMI to HDMI A standard combination. So here we have our source HDMI subconnector. And here we have a display direction HDMI subconnector. Okay, so this is the 4K video. I have already set the resolution information to 4K, and you can see there's no problem with our HDMI A standard type transporting 4K data signal. Okay, so our next combination is DisplayPort to HDMI combination. And here we have our DisplayPort subconnector. Okay, so you can also see there's no problem with our detachable DisplayPort to HDMI combination transporting 4K data signal. And our next combination is DVI to HDMI combination. But as you already know, DVI does not support 4K. It only supports full HD resolution. So this time, let me just change the resolution information from 4K to full HD resolution. Okay, so this is the full HD, and let's change the subconnector from DisplayPort to DVI. Okay, so this is the full HD resolution, and you can see there's no problem with DVI to HDMI combination transporting full HD resolution data signal. Okay, so our next combination is DVI to DVI combination. So here we have our DVI display subconnector. Okay, so this is the DVI to DVI combination, and you can see there's no problem DVI to DVI combination transporting for full HD data signal. And our last combination is DisplayPort to DVI combination. Okay, so you can see there's no problem our DisplayPort to DVI combination transporting full HD data signal. Okay, so we have all seen our detachable HDMI combinations, and we have our equalizer subconnector here, and our equalizer is used when the power from the source device is not sufficient, or when you need external power. Or when you want to extend your copper cable, it inevitably causes some data signal attenuation problems. But in this case, you can just go without repeater with our equalizer subconnector. And we are going to have more explanation on the next video about equalizer. Okay, so you can just simply go over a lot of adapters with our detachable HDMI cable. When a lot of different kinds of interfaces come together, like in a conference room, or when the device you are going to use has not been decided yet. Okay, so we had a great time talking about our HDMI detachable cable, and I hope you enjoyed. Okay, so please subscribe to my channel and drop a like if you're interested.